What's up, guys? Welcome to the Cash Craft, your daily dose of finance and technology news and updates. At 64, Margot Hollander paid cash for her entire house. Not because she was rich, because the house was tiny. After a divorce, most people downsize. Margot went further. She bought a tiny home in Eindhoven, Netherlands, and discovered something the housing market doesn't want you to know. Freedom might cost less than you think. Because here's what's happening across Europe and North America right now. Housing prices have made traditional homeownership nearly impossible for anyone starting over midlife. Divorce at 60 used to mean splitting assets and buying smaller. Now it often means renting forever. Margot found a different door. The tiny home she bought wasn't some rural experiment or weekend retreat. This was her primary residence in Eindhoven, a city of 230,000 people. She paid cash, no mortgage at retirement age, no loan applications, no explaining to a bank why a 64-year-old divorcee deserves credit. But here's where it gets interesting. Paying cash wasn't possible because Margot was wealthy. It was possible because tiny homes operate in a completely different price universe than traditional housing. We're talking about a purchase price that sits somewhere between a used car and a small condo down payment. The entire transaction that would normally involve lawyers, mortgage brokers, and months of paperwork became something she could execute in weeks. Most people hear tiny home and picture sacrifice. Margot saw strategy. After her divorce, she needed housing security without the burden of a massive mortgage eating her retirement income. Traditional apartments meant landlords and annual rent increases. Traditional homes meant mortgages she'd be paying into her 80s. The tiny home gave her a third option nobody talks about: outright ownership on a retiree's budget. Now pay attention to this next part, because it reveals something crucial about housing affordability. Margot specifically mentioned the difficulty of getting financing. At 64, post-divorce, her borrowing power had essentially evaporated. Banks don't love lending to retirees with fixed incomes, especially after a major life disruption. The tiny home bypassed that entire system. She didn't need the bank's permission. She needed savings and a decision. This is where the real story begins. Margot described the tiny home as giving her a fresh start I could afford. Not just a fresh start she could afford. That second part matters, because fresh starts after divorce usually come with financial trauma, splitting assets, legal fees, establishing separate households. The traditional path would have left her renting or taking on debt in her 60s. Instead, she owns her home outright. What most people don't realize is that tiny homes solve a problem the housing market created but refuses to acknowledge. We've built an entire system that requires decades of debt to access basic shelter. If you're 30 with good credit, the system works. If you're 64, divorced, and need housing now without decades to pay it off, the system has no answer for you. Margot found her own answer. The fresh start she mentioned isn't just emotional, it's financial architecture. No mortgage means her retirement income goes to living, not servicing debt. No landlord means no displacement risk. No traditional home means no property tax bill designed for a two-income household. She restructured her entire cost of living around a single strategic purchase. Here's what this really means for anyone facing a major life reset. The housing ladder everyone climbs. Starter home, bigger home, forever home. Only works if you get on it early and never fall off. Divorce at 64 is falling off. Medical bankruptcy is falling off. Job loss in your 50s is falling off. The system doesn't catch you. Margot built her own net. The bigger picture here is about what affordability actually means when you're starting over. It's not about qualifying for the biggest loan. It's about minimizing what you need to survive comfortably. Margot didn't compromise her retirement security to maintain housing status. She redefined what home means when security matters more than square footage. Personally, I'm watching this trend closely. If traditional housing keeps pricing out anyone without perfect timing and perfect credit, tiny homes stop being alternative and start being essential. For me, the question isn't whether I'd consider it. It's whether I'm smart enough to make that move before I'm forced to. That's all for today, folks. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe to the Cash Craft for more finance and tech news. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one.